We've already seen that we have a trimmer tool to allow us to change the start point and the end point of a clip. And it becomes part of the Smart tool, and we access it on the center line at the beginning and end of the clip. But there's a function called trim that's also handy for editing regions and clips. Let's say we want to choose this little blip of this ticking sound. Let's say that we've listened to all the various tickings in here, the little tick-tocks, and we've decided that this particular tick-tock is the best one of the bunch, and we want to hear this one over and over again, as opposed to hearing the various ones that happen in the file. That's a pretty common scenario. You could apply this to hi-hat parts and lots of other things. We want this particular region, and we want to just chop away everything else. Now, again, if this reminds you of cropping a photo, that's very much what it's like. We select what we want and we trim away the rest. It's in the Edit, Trim Clip to Selection, Command T. Because I'm in shuffle mode, we expect this blue piece and this blue piece to go away, this darker piece to slide over to the left, and these two guys to follow it, with this guy going quite a bit farther over to fill up this gap. So let's see if that happens. Here's Command T, and that's exactly what happened. So now we have one little piece of ticking at the beginning, followed by the windup and the chime. Let's say we want more than one little piece of ticking at the beginning. Let's say we wanted 5 pieces of ticking at the beginning. Well, we could copy and paste, but there's a feature in Pro Tools that's faster for that. Also in the Edit menu, Duplicate. Command D is the keystroke. 1, 2, 3, 4 gives us 5 tickings before the windup. If you wanted, let's say, 500 of something, you'd want to use repeat. Repeat will give you 500 more iterations of the ticking. There they are. I'm going to zoom out so that you can see them all. I'm going to undo that, Command Z, zoom back to where we were. Now you have a command for a few duplications or many, many, many repeats. Now, if you're coming to Pro Tools 12 from something older than Pro Tools 10, you're probably wondering what this icon in the lower left-hand corner is all about. We didn't have this until Pro Tools 10. If we had a volume disparity between a piece here and a piece there and a piece there, we had 2 options basically. We could write a volume change, some automation, into this one track, or we could set up 3 different tracks, all at independent volumes, to handle that volume disparity. As of Pro Tools 10, we have clip volume. Each clip comes with its own volume control, and I can raise this one or lower the one next to it, try and even out the volume. So let's say that I wanted this one to start out where it was at 0 dB, and this one to get just a little bit louder, and this one to get louder still, more, this one up into the 4 range. So now I've created a slight volume climb. It's not exactly linear. It's more of a stair step. Let's say that I'm pretty happy with this now, except that I need more chimes. I'm going to zoom, that's Command bracket. These counters are very handy for this sort of thing. If I wanted to select the chime and have more chimes, we know that Command D will duplicate another chime for me. However, this isn't creatively correct because if there were going to be 2 chimes, there wouldn't be this much space between chime number 1 and chime number 2. Couple of ways we can handle this. Because we're in shuffle mode, we can trim this piece down to about 2 seconds. Now, how do I know 2 seconds? I'm watching this cursor up here for length while I'm trimming. And I get to somewhere in the 2-second mark. And because I'm in shuffle mode, the guy behind slides over and fills up the gap. Let's see what that sounds like. There's a slight jumpiness in the edit. Let me try and make it just a little bit longer and see how that works out. That's a little cleaner. There is an option for a crossfade at the junction point of this clip and this clip right at the bottom. So I could do a slight crossfade here. Now, if I do too much of a crossfade, we lost the bing, the pow of the chime. So just a tad will eliminate that jumpiness sound. And then I get the nice ring out and ticking of the original. So I've added one more. I could add all of the other chimes in here and get whatever number I happen to need for the project I'm doing. Our goal in this chapter was to bring in this sound, chop it up, rearrange it, and then export it. So we've done everything but the last step.